Hi guys, welcome back to The Goods and this week's movie review. Independence Day Resurgence. Now, this film has actually been in the works for roughly about 20 years or so. Well, I guess if you do the math for 1996, it would be for 20 years. This film has actually been in the works. There were other titles that were out there like ID Forever and some other ones that actually never made it to screen. So it's a great thing after this long wait that we actually have a sequel to the original Independence Day. Now, is that a good thing? Well, I guess we'll talk about it in this review. So, the cast of this film is basically the original cast from the first film, plus a few extra people, but basically the original cast minus Will Smith. So, we're going to bring back Jeff Goldblum. We're bringing back Bill Pullman. We're bringing back Vivica A. Fox for some particular reason. We're also bringing back Brent Spiner too. But we're going to get new people. Like I mentioned before, we're going to get Liam Hemsworth. And we're going to get our fill-in knockoff for Will Smith and Jesse Usher playing Dylan Hiller. But I guess I shouldn't crap on his character. But that brings us to the plot of this film. So the plot, like I was stating before, it's been 20 years since the original film, and the Earth has basically tried to prepare itself for the inevitable coming of the aliens again. So thankfully, they did, because we wouldn't have a sequel if they didn't, I guess. I don't know. But they've stacked themselves up with the technology and the Earth defenses, with weapons and, strategy and all this good stuff to make sure that we can actually win if the aliens come back. So, good premise to a film. Really excited to go ahead and see it. So what did I think about it? Well, let's talk about the goods. So, the goods of this film are that the action scenes were really cool. To be honest, there was a lot more than what you got in the original film. They tried to ramp that stuff up. A lot of things that were kind of hinted at in other sequels is that we're going to see more of the aliens. They were going to lead a ground assault, and we actually got to see them outside of the ships this time. We got to see what was inside the mothership. We got to see more hand-to-hand, not hand-to-hand, but at least against each other fights with the aliens. So that was really cool. I enjoyed that. And one of the big selling points of the original film is that aerial battles they had with the little spaceships and our jet fighters. Now that we got the new technology in our jet fighters, they really gave us a lot more in those battles. So those were really great things that I liked about this film. Other thing that I like about this film is that Jeff Goldblum's in this film. So if I don't have Will Smith in this film, Jeff Goldblum is one of the other things that got me to go out and see it. I'm always a big fan of his characters and everything that he's in. So his little nerdy, smart, super smart, awkward type of character is basically Jeff Goldblum himself. He plays in every movie. It was really good to see him on screen, and they gave him a little bit more mature role than just to be that all the way around. So he had more importance in this film, but it was still good, and that's always enjoyable watching him play that character on screen. So that's all I got for the goods, because I gotta tell you, I got a long list of bads with this film. So let's go into it. So the bads, where do we start? All right, so let's first start with I talked about the cast of the original film being in this. There are way too many cameos. Way too many cameos for this film. So much because they had to give a reason for everybody to be there. Not needed. Not needed at all. I mean, too many cameos, and it made the story drag, and it didn't let you get on to what the new characters in this film were supposed to be doing and their points, and it actually diminished their roles. It diminished Liam Hemsworth's role. It diminished Jesse Usher's role. It basically made everybody second tier, and then basically didn't make the original cast any more important than they were in the original film. So I didn't quite get what they were trying to do with that. They were trying to pay fan service to people who watch the original film, but try to bring in new audiences, but don't give them enough screen time to actually get anybody to really attach themselves to this new characters that they sold us on. I don't know. So the other thing that I didn't like about this film, back to the cast, they brought everybody back but Will Smith. And yes, I know the viral marketing out there said that his character died in a plane crash testing out a new jet. So that's fine and dandy. I got on board. But what they gave us Jesse Usher, which is basically playing the stepson of his Stephen Hiller's character in the original film. you thought that he was going to take over that kind of Jeff Goldblum, Will Smith dynamic that they had in the original film. He didn't. He didn't at all. His character was so minor in this film, you almost wonder, why did they even do this? But in essence, they made Liam Hemsworth the Will Smith character, but who didn't have the charisma of Will Smith. So I'm lost. I'm lost with what they were trying to do here. Or if they were going to go that route, they could have did Liam Hemsworth and Jesse Usher and just pushed off Jeff Goldblum. I don't get it. I didn't get what they were trying to do, and it just kind of fell flat for me. I'm just going to stop there. So the other thing about this film is that it had way too many plot holes in it. So many that it just kind of took you out of the story for a minute, because you were thinking about things like, why is this happening when they could have just done this type deal. I mean, I'm not gonna pick it apart at this point, but those were the things that I was really kind of like, ugh. Last thing is that if you're a Star Wars fan, and I'm a Star Wars fan, so if you're a Star Wars fan, you know in The Force Awakens that, you know, they basically gave you a new hope. In this film, they gave you Independence Day. They gave you the original Independence Day so much that they didn't learn from the original mistakes of the first film. They basically did all the same mistakes again, but we were supposed to build on what we learned in the first film and go forward. I know they got to give a plot and a reason to make it seem like there's stakes, but it was basically the first Independence Day, and if I wanted to watch the first Independence Day, I'd watch the first Independence Day because it's a better film. Sorry, I said it. It's a better film, and gosh. Okay, so with that being said, should you go out and see this film? I mean, if you're a sci-fi fan, I'd probably go ahead and go watch the film. You got to at least give it a try. If you're a Jeff Goldblum fan, I'm going to tell you, probably wait till Jurassic World Part 2 comes out, because I'm sure there's going to be an announcement that he's going to be in that film, because he's obviously jumping back into old franchises. I would probably go check that one out before I go see this. If you want to see more of Independence Day, then definitely go ahead and check this out. If you like aliens and big action films or disaster films, because that's basically what this franchise is now, and I guess we can call it a franchise because there's now 2 films, but it's basically a big disaster movie. And if you like films like that, like 2012 and San Andreas, then you'll definitely probably enjoy this film. Definitely, probably. All right, so that's all I got for this movie review. Make sure you guys like and comment below. Tell me what you guys thought about it. If you like it, if you didn't like it, I'll definitely have this discussion with you as far as this particular movie goes. And make sure you subscribe, so that way you know about other reviews that we do. We do one at least once a week. Plus, we do our The Goods podcast, and you'll get notifications on that when we put those up as well. So other than that, that's all I got, guys. Take it easy.